Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece Manga Chapter 10. I was going to say 1050, 1050. So I'm basically just going to scroll through the chapter as I go along and it's basically just talk about my thoughts and opinions on the chapter. So the chapter basically started off with Kaido and Luffy falling. I personally was having a somewhat slight hard time believing that the fight was over. Even now, I'm still finding it hard to believe that the fight is over. In my personal opinion, the Luffy versus Kaido solo bit should have been a bit longer and maybe bits some more Gear 5, but I think more so in the terms of just Luffy with Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4 versus Kaido, that should have been a bit longer as well. But at the end of the damn day, you got to remember that Kaido's been fighting a very long time with with no break. He had to go through the scabbards, and then he had to go through the West Generation, and then Luffy had to crack at him at solo, and then Luffy awakened, Gear 5 happened, and he had to go through that solo as well. So Kaido had a very long run. It was a long day for Kaido, so you gotta give him his dues. You gotta give him his dues. Because he worked hard, and at the end of the day, he had to suffer his first L. So now, I think his moniker still stands. If I'm honest, even now that I think about it, because I was joking about it last week with my bro that you know how they say 1v1 Lancia bet on Kaido. So I was thinking, yeah, that he's not that no more. Luffy's coming there and done the deed. But if you think about it, I feel like every hit, even if it wasn't hurting him that much, it all added up. Luffy may have done majority damage, but he didn't do all the damage. Could Luffy have won one-on-one? I don't know. That's a story for another day. But for now, Kaido is defeated. Luffy is the quote-unquote victor. So as the chapter starts, we see them both falling. I said Kaido might not be done previously because he was still in his dragon form. He done. The chapter's pretty much announced that he reverts back to his human form. And we see Luffy falling as well. Yamato hops in there and saves him. And then after that, we flip back over to is it the Fire Festival? Yeah, the Fire Festival. And we just see, who's that? That's not Otama, that's, what's her name? But if you read the chapter, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, in all honesty, I feel like that this part of the chapter was pretty much pointless. In all honesty, it didn't add anything to me. I could have done without this bit of the episode, but I guess there was gonna be that scene where we see what was going on in the Fire Festival, and I suppose if we are going to get some Fire Festival stuff, why not make it with characters we are somewhat invested in? Tengu and the girl at the end of the day. I think his name was Tengu. But regardless, I'm talking about this, the blacksmith. The blacksmith. And then you have that bit where you have Neko just announcing to everybody that Kaido has been defeated. We are victorious. What kind of took me by surprise though was that the remnants of the of Kaido's crew still wanted to fight. I was like, yo, what? Usually when the leader goes down, the fodder like, no, how could this happen? Retreat, kind of thing. But they still want to fight. So I was like, oh, you ain't gonna win, but do you? We have Frankie hopping in there like, yeah, I could go a couple more rounds. Let's do this. So yeah, that took me by surprise, but it is what it is. And instead of that, speaking of Frankie, we have that moment where he hops in there and like, Chopper, Zoro needs you, bro. So there's still that whole thing of what the heck is going on with Zoro? Because the last time we saw him conscious, he was like, Reefer, no. So what is going on with Zoro really and truly? Obviously, at the end of the damn day, Zoro is the main character, is a main character, sorry. So I don't think that Oda would ever kill him off. But obviously there's clearly something going on there that needs to be discussed / addressed. So there's that. Another thing which comes off basically after this bit of chapter is where we have Momo talking to Zanisha, and he basically just says, I'm not going to open the borders to Wano yet. And now, why? So there's a why that's going on there, which will probably get addressed as we wrap Wano up. And yeah, so it's just there as well. I just want to know Momo's mind state right now. So after that, with the whole beast pirates thing coming in as well, they still want to fight. We have Yamato make a stand, and she's like, "Yo, if you guys want to continue fighting, you're gonna fight me." Kind of like what Shanks did back in the Marine for now playing. It's nowhere near that epic, but that thought this just came to mind right now, so I just want to throw that in there as a little joke. Now this whole thing with the underwater volcano, I feel like there's more to it that I'm missing, but I don't really get it by there. But that's the thing that happens within the chapter. Eruption from the sky, blah 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 blah. So at the end of the chapter, we have Momo touch down in the flower capital. I do believe that's where they are, with all, if not most, of Odin's men. Yeah, because I'm looking at the figures right now, and I don't see Kinemon. So all, if not most, of them there, and it's basically just, oh, what was his name? Kirusho. I forget his name, but it's basically him just saying, yeah, yo, they're basically bringing the news of Kaido's defeat to all the citizens of Wano and just letting them know they have a new shogun now. Which clearly, because this is what I'm thinking right now. Because obviously we know that Momo wants to be the shogun. Yeah, and I think he will be the shogun. But I feel like his sister, until Momo matures, because obviously at the end of the day, he is still a very young guy. He's still very young. He may have the body of an adult. He may technically be an adult via the time jump, if he actually lived those years, but we know he didn't live those years, so he is technically still young. So what I feel like is going to be the case is that he probably will be the shogun, but his sister will be the shadow shogun. Kind of like she's running the things behind the scenes, just waiting for him to mature. So when he does finally have that maturity, he can take on the roles and responsibilities by himself. That's what I think is going to happen right now. And that may lead into why he's not ready to open the borders of Wano just yet. But I'm not 100% sure. That's just what I'm thinking is going to happen right there regarding that. So, yeah. Overall, disappointed that the Kaido Luffy fight is over. I was expecting just a little bit more. In all honesty, I feel like Oda is like, yo, like, this arc has been going on for quite some time. Like, even now, I want to wrap it up and move things on. So that's what I think he did. He kind of cut the fight just a little bit, just to speed things up just a little bit. But yeah, this is something that has to happen. Obviously, the roundup of the arc, everyone has to know right there. All that needs to happen now is that they have their celebration party. No, tell a lie. All the injured need to heal first, and then have the celebration party. Then the arc is done, and we move on to the next one. There might be a little cliffhanger surprise at the end of the arc. We get those from time to time, but yeah, we'll then be on to the next one. 3-star rating, sorry, and I'll call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.